Hello out there. This is Elisa on the Dr. Elisa Show here on KUHS Denver, the stream. Thank you for joining me today. This is just so exciting to have you here. And I have some amazing guests, but if it's your first time joining me, let me just tell you who I am and what the show's about. In case you don't know, the tagline, my main tagline is about inspiring you. But my tagline for the year is about living life on the loose, which doesn't mean breaking all the rules or selling everything you own. It means claiming yourself. Who are you? Let's come loose from all those, repetitive sayings and platitudes and rules that aren't really rules. They're sort of traditions that have become codified that we get stuck with. Let's just get away from them and find ourselves. Let's try that. And so that's what this year's show is about. I've got some amazing guests today, but before I do that, let me just let you know a little bit more about me. And also that this show is spiritually multilingual. And so if I say something about prayer and you want to think meditation, great. Don't let the words get in the way of the message. And I think I have technology to deal with. Okay. I'm also an author, and I want you to know about my books. And so, there's technology happening in the station. Mercury is retrograde for any of you who know astrology, and so anything to do with technology, of course, is a mess, basically, because Mercury is retrograde. And if you don't believe in astrology, track Mercury retrograde, and trust me, you will. So, okay, I'm also an author. My most recent book is Dark Fire. It's a adventurous, spiritual, romantic, fun, good read. And you can find it on Amazon. Yeah, there's a couple partly vampires in there, and you got to read it to figure out what a partly vampire is. And there's a magical octopus and a who falls in love with a horse, and some powerful women who heal their lineage wounds. Seems to be a theme that I write about. So Dark Fire. My first book, after you read that one, you're probably going to want to go back and pick up my first one, is Way of the Well. Similar theme, healing family wounds, very different story. And then just to let you know, though, of course, powerful women, bit of mystery, no vampires in this one. And the third book will join these two books together. You can read these two in any order. Also, just to let you know, I have a blog, and you can find me at elisarobin.com. And if you sign up for that, you'll get every other week when I have a radio show, you'll get the replay of the radio show, you'll get that week's blog, you'll get some other interesting links, and you can make me happy by reading my writing, which is really what an author wants, right? We want that. And one last thought, and that is, you know that one of my themes is that we should all become philanthropists. And how do we do that? We donate at whatever level we can to whatever charity we care about. I don't tell you where to donate. This year, just like last year, my favorite charity is MS. I have opened my fundraising for the MS hike. My brother passed away from overreaction to his MS meds. I have several friends with MS, and I do this every year. And if you are interested in donating, really $1 helps. $5 is amazing. I will make sure that the link is posted on my Facebook site. Okay, that should be enough about me. And I have some amazing guests. So, as you know, I bring on mostly women, but people who have inspired me. And this one I think is going to be really fun for you. So, I discovered years ago that if I try to shop in a regular store, 3 things happen. 1, I get really upset because the prices for anything decent are like crazy. 2, I only have a limited choice about the colors, and some seasons I hate every single color that's up for sale. And 3, I have to look like everybody else because there's only so many things to buy. And some of those clothes, you know, are made in not environmentally or socially conscious ways. And I discovered, resale shopping. And I have a very, very favorite store in Denver. It is called the Olde Town Exchange. It is in Old Town, Arvada. So all of you who are Denver Metro, go find this store, Olde Town Exchange. And I have as guests, I'm going to let them introduce themselves in just a second, Nadine and Nancy, who are the owners, the entrepreneurs who've started the store. Welcome to my show. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
So
we're excited to be here.
I am so excited to talk to you. So, you know, for years I would stand up in front of a crowd and somebody would like be introducing me because I was a dean. And they would like read all the stuff about me, and I thought, that is so boring. I'm going to get up there and people are going to already be bored. So I like people to introduce themselves. So I want to know the story of how did you go from two mild-mannered, I don't know, I'm not sure, moms maybe, to entrepreneurs who have this amazing resale shop with high-end clothing that many of us like, you know, and you know me, I'm like always like, I was in the neighborhood, maybe there's something. Tell me about that journey. How did you do that?
All right. Well, first, do you want us to just tell us a little bit about ourselves?
Whatever. You talk. Okay. I want to know about the two of you.
Okay. So, Nadine and I have been friends for a really long time. We met when our kids were in kindergarten. We both have boys, 2 boys each. They're the same age, and so we had raised the boys together, you know, through school and sports, and so we knew each other pretty well. We both bring different skills to the store. You know, this is definitely a later in life act. My background is in advertising and marketing.
Wow.
I was in sales. Both of us have a really pretty big love for finding a deal. And, you know, I worked at, I don't know if y'all remember Homestead House, but they had it was furniture, and they had a clearance center. And so I worked in there, reselling all their, you know, basically leftover furniture, and it was clearance. And so we have this background, business, and we did a lot of garage selling. And so we were sitting, I'm kind of losing my train of thought here.
I know, you're kind of jumping all over. That's all right. No, yeah, and also same kind of thing for me. A lot of experience with people and sales. I was a flight attendant for 24 years.
Wow.
And management at Starbucks for 5, and retail, worked in clothing stores pretty much, you know, prior to my flight attendant job, my whole life, that and restaurants and stuff. So lots of experience with people and retail. So, but yeah.
And so we were raising our kids, and in high school, you know, they just don't need you as much, and so we were.
Or at least they don't want you as much, right?
Right, and that too. In high school, we were watching a lot of HGTV. We were drinking a lot of wine, and we had been talking about what are we going to do. I mean, it was clear the end was coming. And so we're gonna flip houses. Yeah, that was not, we could go too many holes in that. Too old. And then we talked about, well, we'll do interior decorating. Well, okay, yes, but we're really not strong in that.
Make jewelry. We talked about that.
Oh yeah, that was huge. We were making jewelry. We're like, yeah, we're not gonna make any money doing this. So, I had actually my sister is married to a financial guy that worked on Wall Street. They do not have children, dual income, no kids. She had really, really nice stuff, and they were moving to a new house, and she said, I want to take all this stuff to Goodwill. And I'm like, oh, heck no.
Oh my gosh.
I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm going to do something.
Wow.
So garbage bags, really, my van was filled of all the stuff she didn't want, and it had all name brand things in it, high end. And I brought it home, and Nadine and I were like, okay, we'll have a garage sale. So we're having the garage sale, and everybody's, I'll give you a quarter for that, leather,
Nice handbag.
nice handbag.
Right, that Escada jacket, that,
Right, exactly. And I was like, no. And then
I said, hey, I have a consignment shop I've been going to for a long time, and why don't we take it there and see if we can at least get, sell it there and see if we can make more money.
Right.
So she said, great, let's try it. Nancy had never done that before, like consigned her clothes anywhere or anything, and I've been doing it for a while. So we drove and went in there, took all of our things, and she took a lot of it, and we signed the paperwork and left, and we were driving back home to our house, and I looked at Nancy and I said, we could do this.
You could say
and I said,
this.
you're right. We could do this.
And there we go.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was probably earlier in the week on a Tuesday or Wednesday. By Friday, I had gone and I was walking the streets in Old Town Arvada, and I'm like, we need a location. And so I found one, and that was where we first met you, Elise.
Right, that first space that was next to the workout place or something. I don't know, kind of hidden. Yeah.
Yeah.
For all of you that don't know, we've known Elise for 7 years. So we've been open,
and helping dress me through my career.
Yeah, well, actually, you were one of our first customers for sure.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I did not know that. I walked in and you had Eli Tahari, and I was sold. I'm like, that's it. I don't have to shop anywhere else.
And from there on out, every time we got to Hari, we said, oh, we have to save this. We have to show this to him. Elisa's gonna love us.
So anyway, I called the guy on that space in Old Town Arvada. It was the fuel building at that time. And so he goes, oh yeah, sure. And so I called Nadine, and it was Labor Day weekend, and her whole family from around the country was in town. And I'm like, hey, we have a meeting with the landlord at Tuesday at 8 o'clock in the morning.
I'm sitting at dinner, and I hang up, and I'm like, I guess we're starting a business. And then it was balls to the wall. I mean, we got all that done, and within a couple months, we had opened up our first store.
Wow.
We started out working out of Nancy's house with trying to find things from friends to sell and getting our computers on the dining room table set up, trying to find mannequins, and the house was filled with stuff, furniture. We just tried to figure it all out. My husband did all the construction and remodel on the first location. Nancy's husband did the whole kind of back office, so the
accounting, computers.
Wow.
So, but it was really interesting because when we started, I mean, really, we had nothing. We started to scratch. Each of us put $7,000 into it.
Wow.
So we started with $14,000. We garage saled. We built our checkout stations. The only thing that we really paid money for was the barnwood wall. We paid $400 for that.
Right, I remember that.
And that was the most expensive thing that we paid for.
Other than computers. But yeah, we found everything. At garage sales, recycled everything we could to make the store look, and still do. That is still what we do. It's
kind of a mission.
Is the recycling part of reusing everything. Yeah.
So did you start with clothes mostly like from friends, or and garage sales? So is where
friends,
mostly friends.
Not so much any garage sales at all. We just started networking with everybody we knew and just started to put it out there. Like, do you have anything high end or nice that you would want to sell? And we just started making it happen. So
yeah, and because you're a mom, you know a lot of people. And so we kind of divvied the activities up. Nadine was really in charge of, trying to procure stuff we could sell. I was on the business plan end of it and kind of trying to put together all those pieces. And actually, the business plan, we still stayed true to the business plan from 7 years ago. We haven't really ventured or veered off of that. And we did all the work ourselves,
all the construction.
So we signed the lease like right around Labor Day, and it was funny. Our landlord, Nadine later goes, she goes, why did you even, agree to this? And he goes, you had a pulse and a pocketbook.
They're nicest landlord. It's like, hey, I mean, we could not have found a better location and a better landlord to start.
Really?
He was amazing.
Yeah.
And we did all the work, like you said. We did not hire out anybody to help. You know, my husband did the construction. We were all in there doing everything we needed to, and we just made it happen. And we opened up November 1st,
so
2
months later.
Wow. And
So
then
that all happened.
when did you move to the space you're in now? And I want you to make sure you say the address. So where are you? What's the space now? What's the address?
It is 5515 Old Wadsworth Boulevard. And
Okay.
it's right next to the Hilton Hotel, just
Right.
1 block north. And we moved there 2 years later because our landlord, he owned that whole property on
Mhm.
the corner, and he sold that. And so,
we've been in our new location 5 years now.
5 years.
Wow,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Which is, and it's a
But
great
he
location.
really gave us the platform
Mhm.
to get started.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It was awesome. Yeah.
So for everybody listening, this is the Dr. Elisa Show, and you are listening to my wonderful guests, Nancy and Nadine, who are the owners of the Olde Town Exchange in Old Town, Arvada. It is an old Wadsworth, and if you know Denver, and you know where the Lowe's and the Home Depot are, and just Old Town Arvada and the Hilton, they're right there, right on that corner in this amazing resale. It's a great space with this incredible resale shop. So,
yeah, it's just north off of I-70 in
Yeah.
Wadsworth.
Yeah.
right.
Close.
So
Right by
here-
the theater too. Mm-hmm.
Here's what I
Yeah.
wonder every time I come in. How do you know, and you have a good sense of this, what to take and how to price it? I have no idea. How do you know how to do that?
Actually, it's funny because we think that's really easy, but people ask that
All
of
the
us
time.
all the time.
Really?
Yeah, yep.
So-
And that's probably part of the success. I think that's just kind of an innate thing that Nadine and I know. And with that said, we research a lot. But I bring to the table, I'm definitely more from a business, classical, traditional background in fashion.
Right?
And Nadine is more,
Boho, chic, kind of, you know, a little
Right.
more casual.
Yeah.
yeah.
It comes
And-
together in the store.
It works great. We have a
Okay.
big, selection of things that meet everybody's needs. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And I have to say, as somebody who loves high end but not high end prices, I bought Lululemon leggings at the
Right,
store
yeah.
for less than a quarter of what they cost new, right? Less
Right.
than, right? Right, Eli Tahari, absolutely. I have to say occasionally I'm unfaithful, and that when I'm in another town, I will check out their resale shops. I know, it's terrible, isn't it? But, when you can get an Escada jacket that fits you perfectly, a blazer
Yeah.
for $25,
Yep.
why would anyone not shop resale? So,
Right.
Right.
is there a kind of woman that, and let's be clear that it's all women's clothes, we don't do men's.
Mhm. All women.
A kind of woman that comes in, is it a wide variety of people? What is your typical customer like?
So that's a really good question, and I think that's in our mission statement. To be successful in consignment, we felt that we wanted to do high volume at low prices that you can't, and you're not paying retail. And we hear that a lot when women come in, they're like, oh my gosh, I've shopped at so-and-so resale store, they're so expensive. And it's used clothing. Both Nadine and I are like, you're not gonna go into a consignment store and pay full price at a consignment store.
Right.
So we're very cognizant of keeping our prices below retail. It's becoming a lot easier now because people are raising their prices. But we've really actually maintained the price structure that we started with 7 years ago.
Wow.
And it's working.
Right, and so we really try to, the success is in the volume of how much you sell.
Okay.
And we do get a lot of new things with tags. So, a lot of new things.
I've seen that.
And we people bring in very high-end things from Gucci and Chanel and Chloe and Louis Vuitton, and I mean, we get a lot of really nice Kate Spade, Michael Kors, Coach, so we're very picky about the condition of it. When people bring it in, we look that over and look for brands, and we're really picky about, it being clean and almost new, so.
It's kind of like, would we buy this?
Right.
Right.
That
nice.
is,
Nice, yeah.
would I buy this at this price point?
Right, yeah.
So.
I have to tell you, I've learned a great deal about fashion, shopping in your store, because when I first needed my first job, academic job, I was so broke, right, that I was shopping. I hadn't discovered. Well, I don't think you were open yet. I was like Goodwill. I was, other resale shops that on their sale rack. I was so broke. And it was shopping resale, and definitely by the time I found your store, where I was starting to become aware of brands, and that high-end brands, not all of them, right? Some are just kind of tacky,
right.
But some of them, the clothes last forever. They just last and last and last, right? So do you find that you feel like you're teaching women about finding their own sense of fashion while you're doing this?
Well, I think it's interesting because I think your experience is pretty normal of how people get into resale. I mean, I've heard that before. I had no money. I needed to be presentable. How could I do that on a limited budget? And so that's how people oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes get into resale. But then once they're in, it's like you stay.
They can't walk into places and look at prices and think, why would I do that when I can go get that same purse or that same, for such a, a less amount.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I have a girlfriend, and we're addicted. So I have to tell you that when we took a trip in 2019 together, and we were in London for a little bit of time. We Googled resale shops in London and walked to them. Yeah. Because we're addicted. Oh, you do that too. How nice.
Yeah.
So this is really funny. We use Google Analytics, and we do Instagram Analytics and Facebook Analytics. I mean, we're always looking at that data. And it has popped up in our data that when people land at DIA, they are Googling thrift stores and consignment shops, and people have come straight from the airport to our store.
Oh my gosh.
And we have the same returning customers that come in from all over and say, this is always on my list to come to your store when I get to town. So it's kind of cute. It's really fun to see their faces again.
That is crazy. I thought that was just me.
No.
Very common.
Wow. So that once we even get to the point where we could shop somewhere else, we have learned the value of consignment, right? And I wanna just add to this because I think people don't realize that and I'm wondering if this is part of either your mission or people have said this to you. I feel good because it's environmentally friendly, right?
Absolutely.
Not only am I recycling clothing, right? But I'm not buying clothing from a place that makes throwaway clothes, right? Very cheap clothes. And it's socially conscious. Again, the clothes aren't made in a sweatshop somewhere. No. And I'm supporting.
Well, we hope. I mean, we don't always know that, but we hope.
Right.
And that's actually part of our mission.
Really?
Is that we want to take like a mid-level brand into a luxury brand. We don't want to take H&M. We don't want to take Kohl's. We don't want to take fast fashion. And I mean, we're a small piece of this big puzzle for sure. But if people don't buy it and people don't engage in it, hopefully our little piece is contributing to it not being sold.
Right. Yeah. So, how has this business changed the two of you? You're working with women. You've got a mission statement. You just started. How have you changed and grown through being entrepreneurs like this?
Right. Definitely as a lot more confidence, and I think we both knew we could do this, so it's pretty fun to see it all come about, and work out the way it has, and the experience has been amazing. We have met some of the most incredible women along
like yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we have so many friends, and know so many people's stories, you know, and been able to help them dress themselves. They come in, they trust us, they feel comfortable, and we find out things from them, you know, that help us, you know, in our journey. We've had amazing employees. A shout out to Sue and Alicia, you know, who are just awesome. And it's just been something that's just, I think, created a lot of self-confidence and a lot of growth. So for me,
Right.
It's kind of validating when you have these ideas and you have this background and you're like, we could do this, and then it's like, wow, we did this. So I mean, you know, there is that leap from we could to we did, we are, and I mean, we would never be on a radio show had we not done this business. I mean, seriously, I would never think that I would have been on a radio show.
Right.
So
well, we
it's
never
just-
would have met, if, you know.
Right.
I know it. And I have to say, I wouldn't be wearing the jeans I'm wearing, or the shirt I'm wearing. This jacket,
that's funny.
I think I was unfaithful and got this somewhere else. I'm sorry.
That's
But-
okay.
It's good.
But I have 3 pieces on, 2 of them from your shop and all of them from resale, right?
Thanks.
Right, and
It's just really validating, and it's opened a lot of doors.
Mhm.
So, and that's, like Nadine said, I think the really awesome thing that's come out of it is the relationships that we've made with people.
This is actually an amazing story. I mean, you came up with an idea, you start a business on hardly any money, based on what most people have to start a business on.
Yep.
And it's successful, and you keep going, and you're doing, I mean, it's like it really is one of those amazing stories. And do you feel like
thanks
this,
you.
do you feel like this is something sustainable for you? I don't want you going out of business. This is sustainable for you for a while. I need the store. So this is great.
Yep, we are working hard.
So I want to circle back, and we're almost out of time. So what I'm talking about this year is sort of life on the loose, and if you heard me say it before, it's not about breaking the rules. It's not about cheating. It's not about selling everything you own. It's about owning who you are, and you two have definitely done that with starting this business. I'm wondering how you see yourself, like that now for me, you've introduced me to Hari. You have seen my style change depending on my jobs, but you also get that I'm just always going to be, edgy.
And funky.
And funky,
Yeah.
right? Sexy
Yeah.
professional was one for a while.
Right.
I'm wondering how that notion of helping, if you understand that that's part of what you're doing, you're helping women really define themselves also based on their clothing, because it can be unique, and how you help with that. I don't know if that's a good question, but sort of dive in somewhere there.
Oh, we do.
Actually, the really fun thing about consignment is because it's not so expensive, you can try out a different style. You can try out different clothes and not break the bank. And if you don't like it, you're not out that much money, but it definitely gives women avenue to try things that they wouldn't normally try.
Right.
And you can educate people about fabrics, and you can educate people about brands and how to pair things, with jewelry. And no, that necklace doesn't really go with that. It would be more like with a business thing, or that's more cocktail. And so it's really fun to experiment, and it's not that expensive.
We have a lot of people come in and they say, I need a different look, or I need help for a party tonight. We do that. People trust us enough now to walk in and say, I have an event tonight, dress me. And we
Oh
will
my
have
gosh.
them leave with their purse, their necklace, their dress, their clothes, whatever it is, and they're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And it's so fun to be a part of that, and then be like, send us pictures of
And then we
your
post
event.
those.
We post them and stuff. So people come in, and I think they like the atmosphere of they can leave their purse in the dressing room and walk around and look at stuff and not feel like people are, staring at them or going to steal or something. They know that we're going to be there to help them put things together, and it's a more personal experience for people. So
Absolutely.
they love
Absolutely. I know. I leave my purse in the dressing room.
Right.
And walk around.
I wouldn't do that in a mall. So
I would never do that in the mall, right? But I feel like
No.
I'm with friends when I'm with you.
Right,
And
exactly.
you have shoes and purses and jewelry. I know I bought a belt there. You have scarves, skirts, tops, pants, jeans, workout clothes, winter, jackets.
Yeah,
And what else am I missing? Like everything, like literally.
Some fun collectibles,
Yes,
for homes.
yes, some collectibles, some things like that.
Yep.
Oh, this is, so having you on has been great. I want to give you a chance though to like one message you'd like to give people, but first let's do this. Again, tell people where you're located and tell them the hours.
5515 Old Wadsworth Boulevard.
Okay.
So, and that's in Old Town, like we said, right next to the Hilton Hotel, and just east of us is the big Hawkins Theater. So that's kind of two landmarks that make it easy to find. We're right on the corner there. There's plenty of parking, so it's easy to find.
Yeah, and our hours we're open Tuesday through Sunday, 10 to 5, super easy, closed Monday. Yep.
Okay.
So we are open Sunday. Everybody's like, when did you open Sunday? We've
Always been open.
Sunday.
I know. I always get confused on Monday when I'm like, I should drive by. Oh no, it's Monday. I can't drive by.
Right.
So anything else you would like people to know about you or the store or why, just the whole experience of shopping with you? Anything else you would just like to tell people?
Well, I would just say we love meeting you. We love working with you. We're not, if something doesn't work, that's fine. We don't want you to leave with things you don't want. We really are genuinely trying to help you find things. And if it works, great. Our feelings aren't hurt. If they don't, it's consignment. Some days are awesome, some days not so much.
And we're always putting out pretty much 80 to 100 items a day.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah, turnover. So we do try to keep things fresh, and that's why we price low, because we want it to move, and we want people to get a good deal. And please, if you come in, tell us you heard about us on the radio show. We would love to meet you in that way.
Right,
absolutely.
And actually, Elise, we talked about, if people mention your radio show, we'd give them a 10% discount.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, so if you are in the Denver metro area, which is big, right? Denver metro. I live near Golden, and so I don't care where you are. This is Old Town Arvada. It is easy to get to. It is off the freeway. It is easy to park. And if you go and mention the show that you heard about it, you're going to get a discount on already amazingly priced clothes. I have to tell you also, they also have a sale rack, and and sometimes things are like $5 on the sale rack, and
we always have a $5 rack.
I have been known to definitely explore the sale rack. I have to tell you, I've taken home stuff that I thought, I think I'm only going to wear this once or twice, and I don't care, because it's kind of cool and it's $5, and that's good, right? And then it's going to go to Goodwill, and I'm fine with that. So it is a place to experiment. So this is great. Okay, so thank you both for being on the show. I appreciate it so much. You're going to see me soon.
Yep.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so if you just tuned in, this is the Dr. Elisa Show on KUHS Denver, The Stream. And I am Elisa, and the first half of the show I had these amazing guests on, Nadine and Nancy, the owners of the Olde Town Exchange, and we talked about consignment. I would love to hear your thoughts. You can text me in the studio at 720-386-0513. That was 720-386-0513. Or you can go to Facebook and go to the Dr. Elisa Show. It is live. And it's really funky when you're looking at yourself over there. And you can give me some comments. I'd like some thumbs up. Oh, and if you're one of my clients, you have the secret number. You have the one you can text in my phone, which I'm not giving out on the radio. Okay, I'd love to know who shops consignment. I'd love to know your thoughts. Have you considered that shopping consignment is actually environmentally and socially conscious, right? It changes how you view clothing, and it changes how you view yourself. And that is kind of what the second part of the show is about. So definitely go to Facebook and give me a thumbs up. give me a happy smile, give me a something, and or text me and let me know your thoughts. Here's what I want, where I want to build on that, on this whole notion of, shopping. Why did I bring people from a store on? Why are we talking about shopping? It's amazing. So my PhD is in psych, and one of the things that I loved studying was behavioral economics, sort of the psychology of buying. Why do we buy what we buy? And realizing that marketing is branding us, is shaping us, is telling us what we would look good in, what we should wear, what's hot this season. And if you're like me, you often don't like what's hot this season. And you don't want to change your clothes all the time like that. And sometimes, honestly, the colors have been so wrong for me that I'm like, well, I'm not buying anything new for a year or two till the colors come back around. And then you walk into a high-end consignment shop and you realize you don't have to dress the way the marketing companies, the clothing companies are telling you to dress. If you saw the movie about Prada, right? The Devil Loves Prada. We don't have to follow her. We get to actually create a look that works for us. And that look can be different than what we were raised to believe we had to wear. It can shake us out of boredom. And I don't know if you do this, but there are times, in fact, I don't know a woman who doesn't do this. Occasionally, we go to our closet and we look in and we hate everything. We don't want to wear anything in there, and we don't know why. Sometimes I think it's because we have spiritually grown or changed. We've emotionally changed. We're in a life change moment. We're going from one career to the next. We've embraced a different part of ourselves, and the clothes that are in there do not reflect that. And most of us don't want to spend the money, even if we have it, to throw it all out and start again. But when you shop resale, you can go buy stuff. You can afford stuff. And you can start changing how you look without having to be who the designers say you should be. Have you done this? Have you walked somewhere and walked into a meeting and is somebody else wearing exactly what you have on? Because of course they shop at the same stores. Yeah, it doesn't happen to me anymore, right? Because now if it's resale, often it's a little bit older, but well made. Might be from a few seasons ago, but again, it might be something I never saw. I'm choosing clothes that reflect that kind of edgy, sexy, sort of professional, maybe, right? That vibe that I have, that I want to grow for myself. And honestly, the other thing about resale that's so fun is you get over what size you are, because you're shopping across so many brands that you realize, and different times when things were made, that you just have to ignore the sizes and try things on. And suddenly you discover a part of yourself that you didn't realize was there. You discover a color that you look good in, or you discover that you have a different kind of shape that looks good in different clothing. So let me know. Come on. I'm live on Facebook, the Dr. Elisa Show. You can go there. You can text me here in the studio, 720-386-0513. And if you're one of my clients, because yeah, I do have clients, I'm a mentor, you know my number. You can text me there and let me know. How's the show going for you? Are you liking it? Do you shop resale? I've turned so many people onto this. It's just sort of amazing. But it's not just about shopping resale and dressing resale. It's about understanding that the life we live is full of options and choices. Now get this, I am not, 2 weeks ago I talked about toxic positivity and how we just can't manifest any life we want. I mean, I'm not a woman in the Ukraine trying to save her children. So let's put this in perspective. But I do get to make choices on how I respond to things, on how I act, on how I present myself. I always have those choices. And I've learned that if I have to mold myself into something very uncomfortable, that's probably a place I'm not going to fit in well. I can do it. I can do it for a while. I've done it quite often in my life. And then you know what happens? My edginess starts to sneak in. Purple streaks in my hair, dark purple. I like to think they were subtle. I'm not sure they were. You know, a sexier skirt with a very, very sort of, well-cut blazer. Definitely just something a little edgier, because it's who I am. I'm just a little edgier, and I want to be that. I don't want to tame that part of myself. That's on the loose. That's life on the loose, the way I define it. Is I am tired of people trying to tame me, of society, of the rules, and I'm wondering again, let me know, have you lived with that? Some of us, you need to tame a little bit, right? We have to behave in public. We have to follow the rules. I don't want you running red lights. I don't want anyone stealing money. I definitely want people to stop shooting other people. There are some ways that we adapt to live well together. And if I choose to live well together with blue turquoise streaks in my hair, then that's how I choose to live well together. I want to bring this up because I just got back from walking on the beach. And you might not be a beach walker. You might be a mountain hiker. I'm a mountain hiker too. You might be a city stroller. You might be a four-wheel driver. You might be a high tea kind of person. Doesn't matter. Wherever you are, whoever you are, this claiming that part of yourself is part of the reason you came here. I walk on the beach and I feel like I'm channeling the messages of the ocean, not just for me, but also for you. That's why I'm a writer. And you know what? I'm going to hold these books up again while I'm talking. The one right now that you can get, my most recent one, Dark Fire. You can get it in electronic, or you can get it in paperback. And if you would go to my website and tell me you love this show and sign up for my website, email me, I can send you a free electronic version of this, because I have some. This is important to me, being a writer. I've been a geologist. I've been a dean. I guess I'm still a geologist. I've been a professor. Yeah, I'm still a professor. I've learned astrology. I'm so many things. And being a writer, they all feed in to me being a writer. I've wanted to do that since I was a kid. And I've learned that it is not about find your passion and the door is open. Don't worry about that. It's not do what you love, and it's not that stuff. It's knowing that each of us was created as somebody sacred on this planet. We are living psalms, right? Songs to the universe. And when we live who we are, that song reverberates into not just the airwaves, right? But the seismic energy on the planet and the waves in the sea, and yes, the waves in the air. And we reverberate. And we transform ourselves and we transform others. And when we're living that truth, we're not trying to build power, we're not trying to be important, we're simply coming back to the soul we were given. In Judaism we say, Elohai neshama shenatatabi tahorahi, the soul you've given me is pure. When I come back to that, that's who I was meant to be. And that's when I am singing the psalm that I was created to sing. So, because I'm a writer, and because I'm still trying to convince you guys that I'm a writer, and to please go to my website and read my blogs, and please, if you do, I'll even give you a free Kindle. Read my book. I want to read you something. I want to read you something I just wrote, walking on the beach. And I got to tell you, my family knows. I get to California, and they can't see me until I get to the ocean, regardless of what time I land, or the weather. Got to get there. So I just want you to listen to this. Hush, she whispered into my veins. I chose you before you were born into this life. I held your soul when you were too wounded to rise, and tended the ragged gashes in your heart, the ones that still fester from old lies. Come, my ocean child, my wild untamed one, and know that you were always worthy of love. You were not meant to shapeshift into another's vision of you or to be molded to fulfill another's needs. I was somewhere I knew well, miles from the pier, when the relentless chatter in my mind quieted. My heart finally opened, and tears ran down my face to join the cold salt water swirling around my legs. We were connected again, ocean and heart, waves and soul, in some ancient sacred dance of communion and psalm. And I was safe. She speaks in echoes and haunting tones, images and long-forgotten memories that mysteriously taunt and simultaneously transform. And when I am silent, her words weave into my heart, cleanse every betrayal and scar, and wrap me in a web of brilliant wonder. Somehow doubt drifts away, and even if the path before me is not clear, it is at least no longer clouded in dark mist. I walked for miles and miles on warm sand through cold, foaming water, while her words filled me, washing away my fears and worries and self-judgment. The light shining through her azure waves became a mirror in which I saw myself as beautiful and complete and loved. That, my listeners, is a psalm from the ocean that I offer to each of you, that you can reread on my blog, reread on my website, reread on Facebook, on LinkedIn, wherever you can find me. And my point today to you is that you are that. You are a psalm. Maybe not these words, maybe not this experience. And thank you, people who are texting my phone, thank you, thank you. I'm so glad it touched you. People who are, oh, I've got some interesting messages coming in a different Facebook site. Thank you, thank you. Some of you are direct messaging me. That is amazing. Thank you. But go to my site and let me know your thoughts. Text me in the studio. I got 5 more minutes. You have time. 720-386-0513. And know that every time I'm on, I want to hear from you. I want to know how this show, how these conversations is helping you find that part of you that is a precious psalm, a song to the universe, a song, right? A prayer. You are that. Not you think about it or you read it or you focus on it, but you are that because you are a verb, not a noun. You are a being, not a thing, a growing, living being. This show, as you know, is not about politics and it's not about religion. It is about inspiring you to find that fire inside of you that is sometimes dim and sometimes bright. To hopefully, when you're done with my show, to have it bright, to have it glowing, to feel that you are shining brightly in this world because it's what you meant to do. And how do we do that? We choose what we choose to surround ourselves with, what we choose to think about, what words we choose to say, not because of some weird new agey idea that if we say something wrong, the universe is going to punish us. No. But because we are putting energy into the world that helps others and helps ourselves and helps us create the world we want to live in. Absolutely. While we're still doing the work. I mean, I wrote this. I wrote a book. I can't have a best-selling book if I don't write a book. And I can't have a blog that speaks like this unless I'm true to myself. And that's what I want for you, is for you to find that seed within you, that light within you, and embrace it and live it. And then I have to say the other thing that became very clear to me while I was in California, I was visiting family, is again, life is precious. And life is unpredictable. And life can be short. And if you have an unresolved issue, like, you know, the family had a feud 3 generations ago because 2 people got mad and no one knows why, call your cousins. Call them. Just get over it. Whoever had that feud, they're not you. It doesn't matter. Resolve that. On the other hand, if your family is constantly telling you that you're not okay and you're wrong and you need to bend and form and shape, and that you, if your family is doing, or your culture is doing that to you, take a break and walk away to some quiet, safe place and listen to your inner being. Often people tell us who to be because they're afraid. They're afraid of losing us. They're afraid maybe they were wrong. They're afraid if life changes around them, and we are seeing this in America. People are afraid if life changes around them, then the life they lived was somehow wrong. The thing they stood up for somehow has less meaning. And I don't have a great answer for that, except to say life does change. And what's important changes. And what we come here to do is to light that inner flame and live that well. That truth flame. That flame that comes from a place inside of us that's pure. That's a psalm, right? That's a song. So, where else can you find that for yourself? What are your colors? How do you want to decorate or not decorate? Do you love to have, are you a collector? Are you a minimalist? Great. Great. Do you love the blue ocean colors? Do you love the reds of autumn? What do you love? Don't be told you can't do that. You know, I think I've told you this. I was told to cut my hair, and that some colors aren't professional, and that my idea of clothing wasn't professional, and on and on and on. But I was also told that girls couldn't work on their cars, and girls shouldn't be geologists, and that, you know, girls had to have jobs that they would quit when they had babies. I was told an awful lot of stuff that, yeah, it didn't work for me. I want you to listen to the show and find that inner part. So thank you for direct messaging me that that you're resonating. You're resonating with this. So you can find me. We're out of time. You can find me. We can continue this conversation. ElisaRobin.com, my website. You can email me if you sign up today and then email me that you listen to the show. I'll send you a link to an electronic version of my book, Dark Fire. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Medium. You'll see my blogs on Medium, and you can read there and talk with me there. Because what I want is a conversation with you. We're starting a relationship. Let's chat. That's what I have time for today. I'll be back in 2 weeks, and until then, I just want to leave you with this. I want you to let me know how this show has inspired some kind of spark within you. That flame is burning a little brighter because of the show. And then tune in 2 weeks for more of it. And until then, please stay well, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep living on the loose. Thank you.